What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mustang Monday Live. And it is a beautiful, beautiful Monday here in New York. Weather was awesome this whole weekend. Weather was amazing today. So, super, super stoked to be here. Lots to talk about. Actually, put up some stuff. Hey, what's up, Carmob? You're actually on my list. The first thing I wanted to say was 500 subscribers. Thank you so much. Super pumped about that. And I got to give a shout out to the Carmob, who's in here right now. Awesome guy, man. He's got a beautiful 2019, I believe, whippled Mustang called Ruby. Definitely check him out if you haven't done so already. And he was my 500 subscriber, and that's awesome, man. I'm super thankful for that. I'm thankful for everybody, and just a guy talking about cars, and it's the same thing I like to kind of enjoy when I'm watching YouTube. So, the Carmob, thank you so much for subscribing. Really was really cool. So that was the first thing I wanted to say right off the bat, is that I appreciate every one of you out there. 500 subs is pretty darn cool, and now I'm going for the 1,000, trying to hit that 1K. And I noticed there's a couple of other. Hey, what's up, G-Funk? A couple other people I subscribe to hit a couple of milestones. Go Fast Nation. He's got an SN95 modular Cobra. I think it's black. He hit 100 subscribers. I thought that was pretty darn cool. And Horseplay Motoring, sorry. Also an SN95 black GT, hit 500 subscribers. So I as much as I like watching the big names, it's kind of cool to watch the the smaller channels too, man. It's just regular people trying to have fun, sharing experiences, building a community, and to me that's really what this whole YouTube thing is all about. So, being part of that and connecting with these other people that I probably would otherwise not really come into contact with, that's been one of the coolest things about YouTube and Mustangs and everybody kind of coming together. So, right off the bat, I wanted to kind of thank everybody for that, and give a shout out to these other channels that are kind of building momentum. And everybody's channel has a distinct their personality comes through, their cars come through. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if it's not a Mustang, but it's kind of cool to see the passion come through and to see people kind of sharing what they're going through with their cars, with their lives, and it's just 10 subs away from 300. Yo, the Carmob, you got you got some momentum going, I think, then, because I don't know, I think when I subscribed to you, I think you were in the 100s, but that's awesome, man. 10 subs away. If and I don't have a huge audience, but if you're not subscribed to the Carmob, definitely check him out. I mean, his car is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, an S550 one day, and one day, and even though I don't have one, like I said, you watch somebody like the Carmob, and you can kind of live vicariously through them, and enjoy the build of their cars too. So so I actually made a freaking list about things I wanted to talk about. When there's a channel that's been blowing up, and I know that Matt Gearhead 704 actually mentioned him in the live stream that he did the other night, or mentioned her. It was Girls Dig Chicks. I almost said chicks. Girls Dig Mustangs. And when I first found her, it was Girls Dig Pickups, or Girls Dig Trucks. That's what it was. And she's a young girl. I think she's from like Utah or something. She's, like I said, and I mean this in a nice way, she's kind of goofy, but she's very endearing, and she's been picking up a lot of Mustangs. The first one she had was like 2000 V6, a little beater. Then she picked up a 92 GT, a white 92 GT, which totally reminds me of my old white Fox body that I had. Then she picked up a 94 GT. I want to say it's a 94. It's either 94 or 95. Also white, really clean looking. And she just picked up another, of course, white 2004 Mustang GT. And her, her channel has really, really blown up. I know she was in the 3 digits when I subscribed to her. I don't know how many she had at the time. But now she's up to like, I want to say she's up over 5,000. But, look at a pretty young woman with a lot of Mustangs. Of course she's going to blow up. But it's more than that. I actually enjoy her content. I like her point of view. She's very kind of, chill about things. She's just enjoying it. She knows kind of what she doesn't know. She doesn't pretend to know everything about cars. And I think that's something that's endearing about her. So she's gonna. I'm telling you, man. Matt Gearhead 704 was talking about it. I completely agree. I think she's really gonna. She's gonna blow up. I'm not saying she's gonna be 100,000 subscribers in 2 days, but I think that she's gonna gain a lot of momentum because she's kind of fun to watch. Different people are fun to watch in different ways. Like I said, everybody has their own perspective, their own skill set, so to speak, their own what they like to do. So somebody like G Funk Express, he's entertaining, or you're entertaining, I should say, in a completely different way. I mean, you know what you're talking about, but your sense of humor comes through, your sincerity comes through, and I like to think that she hooks up a me battery. Yeah, she definitely does. She's been doing oil changes and batteries, and it's like I said, it's kind of goofy, but it's funny to watch. And I'm sure you guys know who she is. Girls Dig Mustangs. Like I said, she just changed her name, which was more appropriate because she has I want to say it's like an F-150 or a C10 pickup. I don't know if it's a Ford or Chevy. But yeah, the Car Mob women channels definitely blow up. There's another one. She's from Pennsylvania. Her name is Rogue50, I think. I just kind of stumbled upon her. I don't know if it's her and her boyfriend or her and her husband. They have 2 Mustangs, 2 S197s, I believe. They're a little rowdier. I mean, they like to go racing and make a lot of noise and stuff. In street racing, I don't like track racing, but again, entertaining in a different way. And I like to think that even though these different content creators they offer a different, kind of a different perspective, different expertise level, and I enjoy the. Oh, it's 70 F250. Thank you, G-Funk. I knew you'd know that. So 75. Does that still have points, or is that electronic ignition? I'm wondering, because I'd love to see her swap out a set of points and condenser. I think that would be entertaining. The next thing I was going to talk about big YouTubers. Everybody knows who Stang Mode is, right? So Stang Mode, I remember when he was Eco Beast and he had his old EcoBoost 4-cylinder, and he picked up the 2018 GT 10R80 car, and he kind of started gaining more and more momentum. He's blown up. I do like Stang Mode. I think that he's entertaining in a different kind of way. His production isn't that super high quality, but I think that's what makes him endearing to somebody like me. I actually like his genuineness, if that's even a word. But he just got back that Black Mamba. That Black Mamba was tuned by VMP. They put that brand new Odin kit on it, the Odin supercharger, and I think they did a new transmission. His 10R80 was rebuilt. I know he had a converter of some type in it, but now his 10R80 is rebuilt, and the thing's a beast. And I said, I watched his car, and I was thinking about it. It went 150 miles an hour trap speed in the quarter mile, and 149, 150, and I estimate he's probably about 4,000 pounds with him. So with the automatic, factoring 17 to 20% of drivetrain loss, he's probably making about 850 rear wheel. That's pretty beastly. So I'm curious to see what he does with that car. I'm sure he'll go after Demonology. Demonology. Maybe he'll go after It's Just a Six. All the big boys and girls, whatever. But I was looking at it, and I noticed that there's a slight stumble in the car. If you saw his video, it stalled a couple times in the burnout. And like I said, I don't know much about S550s. My tuning goes back to the Ep4s, when we used to use like the tweaker and the EQ-tuners and the AutoLogic softwares. But there was something called tip-in, and you could play with the GPS readings, and that's what it reminded me of, though, because when he used to tip into it, it would kind of stutter a little bit. So I think that's what he's got to figure out. But he is driving it to New Jersey from Florida, so I guess we'll see. Xander 13, it's funny. I'll tell you the one thing about Stang Mode I don't really like, and this is not a knock on him. Those commercials with the GT500 giveaway and Mamba merch, I find them annoying, because I feel like as soon as that comes on, it's like an ad to me, and I have to skip it. I have to get past it. So I wouldn't mind if it was like a 5-10 second thing, but it's this big, incredibly cinematic 25-30 second GT500 giveaway thing. I don't care for that. I don't want to see that. If I wanted to watch a commercial, I'd put the TV on. That's the only thing that I have a reservation about Stang mode. It's the only thing I don't really care for. Xander 13, it's funny, I used to watch Xander, and I do think, I agree with that he's very sincere. He's more down to earth than a lot of people. Definitely humble after all he's been through. I watched him a lot in the beginning, and then I kind of got turned off from him, and I don't know why it was. I think he was trying too hard. But recently, with his car now back together, I'm finding myself watching him more and more. I actually enjoy his stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's come down to earth a little bit, but I didn't absolutely love Xander 13 for a little bit, so I kind of shied away from his content. But now, like I said, I really do enjoy him. Justin 91LX, I do not know him, Chief. I'm going to write that down. I have been finding what's really cool in the past, like, 2 weeks. I've been finding a lot of channels, small channels, and when I say small, I mean, less than 10,000, and a lot of them are less than 1,000. And I really like them. I like I don't know, they're just being themselves. They're keeping it real. They're not doing it for any other reason than just to have fun. I don't know. So if you know somebody who's creating content, kind of like the guys who are active in the chat here, shout them out, because I think we're all looking for new content creators that give you that unique perspective. Whatever car they're building, who cares? Whatever type of racing or shows or whatever they're into, who cares? I think the coolest thing is listening to these guys talk and saying, hey, this is what I enjoyed, this is what I'm good at, blah blah blah. So that's all I got on Stang mode. I have to say congratulations. I'm sure you watch Mustang Lifestyle. Andrew got his GT500. It's either a 13 or a 14. It's actually running now with that new short block, that modular motor house, I want to say. I don't know, the real skinny guy who built it for him. Look, he's a Mustang machine, man. Love him or hate him. He's been around. He's putting his dues, and I'm pretty excited for him. I mean, that's not the way I would build that car. I chased drag racing and trying to go 10s for so many years when years ago. So for me, I'm more of a street guy now. That 13 would have been fine with a nice VMP Gen 2 on it, and enjoyed it with 700, let's say 700 rear wheel horsepower. I would have been fine. But now he's really, really into going fast, so more power to him. I hope he gets it. Just a 91 LX, yeah, man. I'm gonna check him out. 773. Oh, House of Dula. That guy. I miss his content. House of Dula has an 86 GT T-top car. He just put. Gosh, did he put a turbo on that thing? I feel like he put a turbo on. I don't know if it was an on 3. I think it was an on 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen much from that guy in a while, and I know I'm subscribed to him, so if he's making content, please let me know if I'm missing something, because I haven't seen much of anything from him. House of Dula, really clean car. I like it. The 86 GT with the 5 lugs, and I think he's got Ep4 500s on it. Good stuff. Justin has a lot of subs. All right, I'll check him. Definitely check him out. So I turn it over to you. What do you guys? You got anything you want to talk about before I got a couple other things. I only got a couple other things. I tried to come up with topics this week rather than just talking. As much as I like to talk, I figured it would be nice to just have a direction where I'm going. It's funny. There's such a lag here. There's like a couple of seconds lag between me saying something and you hearing it, and then you telling me back. So. Well, I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk about the next thing. When you got something, I'll talk. Ken Block. This is really cool. Ken Block, the guy that does the Jim Kahana and all that craziness. I'm sure you see. I think he's building 2 cars, a black car and a white car. The black one is pretty darn crazy, and overall, I really like it. And I was looking at pictures of it, this is going back years and years. I remember when I was in middle school. There was a There was Ford Motorsport used to make a IMSA. I don't know if you say it IMSA or IMSA. The race series. They used to make these huge fiberglass fender flares that used to go on a Fox body Mustang. Like I said, I remember this. I must have been in like 7th grade or something when this was out. And Ford Motorsport at the time used to sell them. And so as soon as I saw Ken Block's car with those wide fender flares, I thought of like a Mercury Capri on steroids, and those fender flares. And they look really, really good. I love the way they look. I think it's super aggressive. And the front air dam, the front splitter that he put on there, again, super aggressive. Love the rear wing. I absolutely love the cheese grater taillights. The cheese grater taillights on that car look amazing. Amazing. And that's funny. That's like the last part of my car I still have. I have my original white GT taillights that I think I took off in like 1993. They're sitting in a box in my basement. They're just like, I guess, sentimental value. Maybe I'll have another Fox. But I love the way the cheese graters, because I hate the cheese graters on GTs for the most part. That's why I took them off. But on Ken Block's car, I love them. I think they really set everything off with that rear diffuser, that rear wing. All the things that I wouldn't put on a car, on his car, look amazing. The one thing that I don't like is the hood scoop. The hood scoop on there reminds me of like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome or whatever kind of years. That big old bug catcher in front. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I get it though. I get it. Like functionally, it probably works really, really well, but aesthetically, I think it doesn't do a great job on there. So that's. I was thinking about what kind of things have happened in the past week with the Mustang hobby, and those are the things that kind of popped into my head. So the next thing I have a question for you, and that would be, what would be your ultimate Mustang setup? What would be your perfect Mustang? Body style, powertrain, suspension, like if you could build any Mustang, well, let's say 79 and up Mustang. Let's go more modern. What would it look like to you? And shout it out in the live chat. Let me know, because I started documenting my ultimate Fox. Even though I am a New Edge guy now, the Fox is still in my heart. What would it look like? What would your S550 look like? What would your S187 look like, or whatever? House of Dula also has a Torino. Oh, he has an old Torino. I didn't know he had a big block Torino. That must be on the other side of the garage. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a video. The car mob says turbo Fox body, which I will be building. What Fox body? I assume Mustang, but I shouldn't, because you could be a turbo coupe. It could be an LSC. It could be a Cougar. It could be a Fairmont. And is it going to be a Windsor powered? Is it going to be modular powered? What are you thinking of? That's a pretty cool build. See, if I was going to build a Fox body, it would either be like an 89 notchback, because I think 89 is the best year of the Fox body. No airbag, you still get tilt, and then you just put 91, 93 fenders on it, so you get better fender clearance for the bigger wheels, because I need that. Or an 82 GT. I love the 79 pace car as a build. I think it'll be amazing. I just don't like where the 79 door handles are. If you've ever been to 79 Mustang, is the only Fox body that has the door handles on the bottom. They're like 2 feet below where standard Fox body door handles are. And a buddy of mine had a 79, I remember, 79 4-cylinder. We swapped in an SVO engine into it in the late 80s, and it was a cool car, but I hated the door handles. Turbo Fox body with a 331 stroker. Very cool. Is that going to be a stick car or automatic there? I'm wondering. Stick or automatic, car mob? What are you thinking? I guess it depends if you're going to go street or track on it. Big single turbo, I don't know. I'm thinking you're probably going to go automatic. Maybe like a C4 or a Turbo 400 if you need more than that. AOD still a good tranny. G-Funk, I'm building a 306 165 AFR heads, Anderson cam, Steeda suspension, Cobra clone. It already had a Cobra kit on it. Yeah, sweet. Who's was it? Is it a Cervini Cobra kit or is it an OEM? I'm curious because that's on my '88. My Fox body had a mix of a Glide. Oh, you're getting serious, Car Mob. You're getting serious. You're gonna get rowdy on that. But my original Fox body had a mixture of Cervini and OEM Cobra parts. Back when it was actually the Cobra parts, original OEM stuff, was pretty accessible. But see, I started thinking about what would be mine. Like I said, I would probably do I would love to Coyote swap the 882 GT or an 89 notchback, like a Gen 2 Coyote, Whipple 2.9, or even the VMP, Gen 2R supercharger. Because I'm going to go street, I'd probably get like a T56 Magnum with like 355 gears, 31 spline, 8.8 Outback. Where's Gearhead? Gearhead would love this talk. This is car porn to him, talking about Fox bodies like that. Brakes, I probably, because I'm a big fan of brakes, I put like same thing I did on my Fox, 13-inch front Cobra brakes. What is it? 10.5-inch. I think they're 10.5 inch rear GTs. In case I wanted to put 15s on the back for any reason, for the track or something. Plus, it's not really worth it to get those 11.65 Cobra rear rotors. Are not really worth it. But I paint everything, have them red, have the front Cobra red, just like the 10th anniversary. Oh, that'd be sweet. And then I woke up and I didn't have it, but that's probably the way. If I would have kept my Fox body, that's probably the way I would have gone with it. The cool thing about these Foxes is, well, that a lot of people are making parts for them now. Like, back in the day, we used to have to go to like swap meets and stuff, and then eBay and like Craigslist. Now you can go to like CJ Pony Parts or LMR and pick up stuff like brand new, which is really cool when you think about it. That when LMR first came out as like 5.0 Resto, we were like, well, how is a Fox body being restored? And here we are in this point of time where a Fox body can be 30, 40, yeah, right? 40 years old. It could be 40 years old. That's unbelievable to me. So it's cool that all these products are being made, and manufactured, so you can pretty much do whatever you want or whatever you can afford. So, you got a Steeda Fox. Wow. Was that the, no, the Steeda Q, I think, was the SN95. But the Steeda had G-Track suspension, right? Because I had the Steeda Sport Springs on my car, and the Steeda Strut Tower brace, and the Steeda G-Track bar on the bottom. Yeah, I remember that. I had so much crap. I mean, I owned my Fox for 20 years, so that car had started out with Saleen parts, then it went to Steeda, then it was Maximum Motorsports, then it was a combination of Steeda and Maximum. But my favorite thing, G-Funk, about those Steeda Foxes, the rear wing on that Fox was so cool. You very seldom see them. They would come up a little bit higher than an LX, but they kind of look like an LX spoiler. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You can't even get your hands on those anymore. Unfortunately, it would be cool to be able to see them, but I don't know. Pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. I'll do disc in the rear of the Fox. Car Mob, you can do discs. They're so easy to do because you can find 94, 95. Well, actually, for you, 94 to 04 parts you could do. If you get, North Cobra brackets, and you can swap everything over to your existing axles, or if you wanted to go to SN95 axles, like 94 to 98 length, you could swap those in and use everything as is. But rear disc really looks nice. I don't know if it's as important as the fronts, but I agree. I'm not a big fan of drums. They're just not aesthetically pleasing. Ducktail still. Oh, they do? The Duck Status still sells those wings. Wow, those are cool. I actually like them better than the Celine wings. The Celine wings, I mean, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, especially 90s. Let's say, yeah, I would say my time was more the 90s. People had Celine wings. It was like the hottest thing. Everybody had them on the convertibles, on the GTs, on the LXs. Um, I don't know. The Steeda wing, I think, looks a little bit nicer. It just looks like an LX wing on steroids, kind of. And I wouldn't swap it on a GT because I think a GT needs something different. But on an LX, it looks really good. So that's cool. You had a Steeda wing, a Steeda car. I mean, you don't even see those around anymore. Those don't show up. Period. So, oh man. Well, what else did I hear? Have anything else on here? No, that's my list. Well, I do have somebody to check out, just the 91 LX. So I thank you for that. Um, how's everything in your neck of the woods? You all surviving? I don't know if your states are opening or still closed. I mean, New York is pretty much essential only. They're talking about May 15th. Not to go into like COVID talk, but we're still pretty locked down here. Um, you know, stuff on my bicycle. I haven't really gone out too much. I put up that video the other day of that birthday parade. That was kind of like the high point of the past 2 weeks. Beautiful, beautiful cars, and it was a good time. There's another one coming up this week. I just don't even know. I don't know. It's kind of far, not far. I mean, it's like 40 minutes away, but it's just tough to get out, and I don't know. I got a Celine wing. It's getting swapped for a 93 Cobra. Very cool. Very cool. You're probably going to have to fill some holes, but it'll work. You're at work all night, Car Mob. Wow, you must be essential, man. Thank you for risking your life out there. Ford Takeover. That looks like a heck of a good time. Ford Takeover looks good, and there was one near me that the Chocolate Fox. That looked pretty good too. It was going to be at where's that place? Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's why it's called chocolate. At Fox Mustang Restoration. So I know that most of these events have gotten canceled. I think Ford's in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is like 3.5 hours from me. That's been postponed to the same day as Pony and the Smokies. Bill from CJ's was saying. Gosh, what else is there? Every year I used to go to the Ford Motorsport Nationals, Maple Grove, Pennsylvania. Then NMRA took it over, and NMRA started doing it, and I don't know. I just stopped going. I think I went for like 10 years in a row or something like that, and then we just stopped going. But now American Muscle does it, and even though I'm not a big fan of American Muscle parts, I think most of their stuff is cheap. They do host that big show, which I've never been to, so I might actually check that out this year. I don't know. I'm hoping that somebody, Taco Potato Mustang. I'm hoping. Thank you, G-Funk. I'm gonna write that down too. I was hoping that somebody would. I was hoping like Stang Mode. I know we were talking about Stang Mode before. Taco Potato. I'm trying to do two things at once here. Hoping that Stang Mode would kind of host a meet, because he did one last year in Jersey, and it might be 2 hours from me. I might head out there. We'll see, but I haven't heard anything. I don't know. Maybe he's not doing those. And plus, with everything going on, who the heck can do anything anyway? Oh, here's another channel that Gearhead actually mentioned. Boomerang something. I subscribed to her today, and it was this weekend. G-Funk. Okay. Oh, Karma, power plant operator. Thank you for going to work every single day, man. You're keeping this country going. Everybody's dependent on, we're all depending on people like you. I guess I'm fortunate. I could do my job from my house, which honestly I want to go. I don't want to anymore. I'd love to go back to work, but you're performing a service for everybody, and I guess on behalf of everybody, I say thank you, man. It's really cool, really cool. But I hope it's appreciated, and I hope I'm sure it's stressful, so I appreciate that. So Boomerang, She calls one of her cars Boomerang because she sold it years ago, and then she found it for sale, so it came back to her, which I thought was really cool. It's like an 89 LX 5.0 5-speed white. Has some mods to it, and then she's got something else. She calls it the Distractor. I guess to keep her distracted from that. It's like an 89 LX 5.0 automatic AOD car. So yeah, she was kind of funny. She had her kids starting the car up and revving them. I thought that was cool, man. I thought that was cool that she did that. So I found her today. I subscribed, and now I got 2 more to go for. So you got Justin and Taco Potato. So that's cool. You know, I guess I'm spending a lot of time on YouTube trying to get a break. So yeah, it's always good to have new content to watch. Always good. So yeah, I gotta get some. I got to get some initiative, man. Boomerang staying. That's her, Jessica. She seems super nice, and she seems really genuine. And I think that's probably the most important thing. I mean, I'm not a big fan of YouTubers. I don't even know. I can't believe we use that word, YouTubers. I'm not too fond of YouTubers that think they're celebrities, that we are their audience. I'd much rather have somebody who thinks of it as a community where we all share and, you know, kind of support each other, I guess. Maybe that's old-fashioned, but, you know, that's something like I see in you guys, and I see something, you know, stuff like that from somebody like Foxcast, Caleb, or Ken, Speed Addict 731, or Matt, Garrett 704. These guys seem like, you know, kind of guys you could just hang out and BS with, and they're not trying to, you know, push merchandise down our throats or tell us that, you know, we should run after them and, you know, cheer them on and stuff. And I think that's the kind of thing, you know. Most of the guys I watch on YouTube, or most of the guys and gals, is somebody I would kind of hang out with, you know, and talk and shoot and BS with. So if I can do that, that's the kind of content I like to watch, rather than me kind of cheering in the audience like a fan that they're performing on stage. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. And yeah, I don't mean to sound disrespectful when I say that, but I'm just being honest, you know. And what do you guys think? I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think about what I just said? You know, I noticed that G-Funk said that you don't watch Stang Mode. Could I pry and ask you, like, why you don't watch him? Or, I mean, if that's too personal of a question, please don't, you know, just say, I'd rather not answer that. You know what I mean? I hate this lag. This lag is killing. Fixed body Mustangs. You guys are just a plethora. I love that word. That's a Three Amigos word, by the way. A plethora of information. Fixed body Mustang. That's a cool play on words. Yeah, you know, G-Funk, I don't know. Sometimes I have mixed feelings about him, but I think, like, I don't know, there's still a genuine sincerity about him that I guess I kind of appreciate. I don't know, more than watching other people who are YouTube superstars, you know. Well, you know, when you think you're really, really cool, you'll find out there's a 12-year-old girl that's doing rubber band crafts that has 5 million subscribers, and you're not as cool as you think you are. You know, like me, I'm celebrating 500 subscribers. I think it's awesome, but I also realize that, you know, I'm not a superstar. I'm just humbled that 500 people actually chose to subscribe to me. Agreed. Karma, actually, I completely agree. That's where I'm on at that. You know, the smaller channels are just trying to be themselves and just trying to connect. Like I said, I'm not trying to push merchandise or, you know, act like we're fans. I don't know. Yeah, they do. You're right, Carmob. You're right. And that's why whenever I watch a video of somebody making content, I really try to comment. And I try not to make them superficial comments like, cool video. No, I want you to know that I actually took the time to watch it, because I'm sure, listen, I know editing videos takes a while. I actually enjoy the editing process. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'll edit my videos 4 or 5 times till it's the way I want it. And maybe that's why I don't put up that much content. But I do it mostly for me. However, when somebody does something, somebody notices the work that I put into it, it kind of validates you a little bit. Case in point, Joel into my GT Entertainment, the guy, Joel, he's got that California special. He's in Derek Barron's videos. He changed his intro. He actually used a different intro, which is one that Derek had produced, and it looked good. So everybody else is making comments about the cars. I was like, hey, Joel, love your new intro. And I hope that he actually cared. I hope he actually, gave a crap that I noticed it, because I'm sure he put some time into it. But, yeah, I mean, those are the kind of comments I like them to be a little more meaningful than a generic cool video or, something else. I don't know. I try. Can't always get a comment, but I really do appreciate when somebody leaves me a comment. Even the trolling comments, man. I put up those Stang documentaries. I think I have 4 of them up. Some people, I made a mistake. I called an LS1 and LT1 or vice versa. Man, I must have 2 people, 3 people a month go, you made a mistake. And I'm like, yeah, I did. So what? I screwed up. Sorry. I'm a Mustang guy, not a GM guy, and I made a mistake. I called an LT1 and LS, or whatever. But you know what I did? It was just so funny. Everybody's got to kind of correct you, but it doesn't bother me at all. I was writing back, hey, thanks for the comment. Whatever. So I appreciate the good. I appreciate the bad. There's trolls. There's not. So. All right, well, I think this is where I'm going to end it, because I've been on for about 45 minutes, and I appreciate you guys I really do appreciate you guys being in here. And the Car Mob, man, special thanks to you for being number 500. I think I'm up to like 507 now, which is really cool. I mean, listen, would I want to get to 1,000? Absolutely, and it's not even because of the monetization thing, because believe me, this YouTube is not going to change my life, money-wise. But I know that when you hit 1,000, it unlocks a couple of new things you can do, like you can live stream from your phone. So that's why I want to get the 1,000, not because of money or fame, or I hear women can't keep their hands off on you when you get to the 1,000. That's just something I heard. I don't know if there's any validity there. Maybe you guys can clue me in. But nah, I'm just playing. I really want to get I want to get the additional features. That's pretty much why I'm looking to hit the 1,000 mark, and maybe I need to work harder. I don't know. We'll see. But I do thank you for 500. I think it's amazing, and I'm incredibly humbled by each and every one of the people that chose to subscribe and the people that choose to watch. And I know you guys feel the same way, because I can tell, like, the Car Mob and G-Funk. I feel like I feel like we're on the same page there. So that's why I watch you guys, because I like to think if we went out to a bar or a restaurant, I could definitely sit down and have a drink with either one of you guys or anybody, most people. But all right, well, this is where I'm going to end it. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll see you next Monday night. All right? So I thank you, Mustang Monday Live, episode 4, 500 subscribers. And I guess if anybody's watching this, they could, if they have any comments on all the stuff we just talked about, I'd love to hear them as well. Comments about anything. These channels, comments about the Dream Mustangs, Stang Mode, whatnot. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end it now, so stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Peace.